On to you, Aquarius. So you, Aquarius, actually have the Ace of Pentacles, Six of Swords, and then you have the Two of Wands. Um, there's some people in your life that are not doing so well in their own life, and they're hoping that pretty much you come and save them. Six of Swords, Two of Wands. Yeah, they're hoping that you, Aquarius, pretty much come and save them. You know, help them out. Figure it out for them, right? Not help them figure it out for themselves. Figure it out uh, for them, right? And a lot of you, Aquarius, again, Seven of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, you're not going for it. Seven of Swords represents putting up a wall, putting up a fence, right? Putting up a barrier, a line in the sand that divides the two of you, because, or whomever it is, because you, Aquarius, don't want them to get comfortable at all. You don't even want them to come back. You, Aquarius, see what they're doing as weak because they need help. They're not looking for love. They're looking for help, right? They're looking at you as a come up. And you, Aquarius, pretty much know that. To piggyback off of what I've been talking about for the last few days or the last few weeks, you, Aquarius, are doing great. You are. You're doing great. Things are working out things are going according to plan, right? You're back on course. And so with that being said, you know, when things are going great or amazing for you or good, you got to understand that a lot of people will look at you, especially if they're not doing so great, and they'll look at you like a come up. What they can get from you, they'll tell you anything. They'll say anything. They'll do anything, for a time, because they're looking at it as a means of survival, right? Trying to get their bills paid, trying to get you, Aquarius, to pretty much pay a light bill or whatever, right? Put gas in the car. You know what I'm talking about, right? And so the situation with that is you, Aquarius, this is what I'm talking about. You, Aquarius, see all of that. You see them trying to come back in, right? You, Aquarius, again, the Ace of Pentacles, you probably got some money to you, probably looking snazzy, right? Cool, attractive, probably, probably looking dapper. You know what I'm talking about. You looking good, right? And you know how it is. People will look when you look good. You know what I mean? I'm one of the best dressed individuals in my neighborhood, so I know. And so the situation with that is that the Eight of Pentacles here represents how. Excuse me. So the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles represents you don't want to have anything to do with what they got going on. What does they need? What does them needing help have to do with you, Aquarius? Nothing at all. The two of y'all are not together. You're not connected to these people. They're on their own. But again, they're expecting you, Aquarius, to come through and save them. So it's their misunderstanding or their misconception. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles here, which represents you're doing your own thing. You're doing your own thing. It brings you results. You get value from doing your own thing. You're not going through what they've got going through. Things are, for you, Aquarius, are actually going quite well. And so now you also have the Six of Pentacles here, which represents how you, Aquarius, being in a place where, again, like the Six of Pentacles, right? The person holding on to Pentacles is you, and then they're basically begging. They're asking you. They're trying. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be careful, because right now people will do anything to get your help. Say anything to you. They'll tell you that they love you. They'll tell you that they love you. They'll tell you that, you're the best person in the world, the best they ever had. They'll tell you whatever. But at the same time, though, you understand that they are only doing this because they need your help. They know that you're doing better than them, and they have your number. So they will call you. And so what's happening here is that again, like you have these 6 pentacles in your hands, right? 3 on each side. And it also represents balance. Like you, Aquarius, know that if they had it and you were down, or whatever the case may be, they wouldn't be so empathetic and sympathetic towards you. They would tell you to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps and all this goofy stuff, right? Figure it out on your own. And so the High Priestess and the Judgment here represents how you're not putting up with that. You, Aquarius, you don't want this kind of responsibility because it's not necessary. And so the High Priestess, they have to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They got to figure it out on their own. You're not going to come in and be a savior. They have to save themselves, you know. They steadily doing this to anybody in which when they fall on hard times, they're steadily doing this. Maybe they have done this to you, Aquarius, before, right? And you, Aquarius, you tried to help them out a few times before, and you realize like they just kept doing this to you. So this is a pattern. You know what I mean? They're not this is a pattern. They're not you're not going to be able to actually see them differently, right? You're not going to see them with dignity and respect because they're parasites. You know what I'm saying? They'll say, and like I said, they'll say anything and do anything to get someone to pay their bills because they're not built to actually handle their own business. So that's what the High Priestess represents, and that's what the Judgment is. The Judgment is you've been delivered. You're not accepting this. This is a responsibility that you will not accept because it has nothing to do with you, right? And so the High Priestess represents the perspective in which they need to do some hard work. They need to figure it out. They need to stop trying to take shortcuts because you, Aquarius, haven't taken a shortcut. You can't afford to. And so the thing is that the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Swords here for you represents how you're in a place where for you, Aquarius, this is also about how, you know, like I said, you're keeping all of your resources to yourself and the people whom you trust, the people whom who you trust pretty much, right? Your people who've been here with you since day one and whom are active and proactive. So your family members, right? Your family members, your friends, the people whom showed up, put in action, been there for you, right? They're not just talking. They've actually really demonstrated what they mean. And so the Six of Swords here represents how a lot of you, and this is something that they don't want to accept. You know, you don't trust them anymore. You don't take them seriously because they take help. It's so stupid because you'll have people who will want help, but then when they get help, they think that you're goofy for helping them, even though they want the help. So it's a real, like, they're not the brightest bulb on the tree, nor are they the sharpest knife in the drawer. So, but other than that, you, Aquarius, are doing quite fine, though. That's the reason why they're contacting you, asking you, Aquarius, for help. Because they know you, Aquarius, are going to know what to do. And they know that the majority of the times, you probably have it. So let's clarify the Two of Swords. You have the World card, Four of Swords, Four of Cups, Ace of Cups, and then you, Aquarius, also have the Eight of Cups to clarify the Two of Swords, which is their blindness, right? The Two of Swords, their inability. Look at how the person is covering their eyes with their arm, right? Specifically their elbow, and they're looking away on top of that, right? Almost like a dab. But the thing is that the World, the Four of Swords, and the Four of Cups here, right, represents how, but again, with all of this delusion of grandeur that they have and thinking that they're so smart. None of the plans that they've got going on for you, or they may have plotted on you, Aquarius, is going to work, right? You don't want to have anything to do with them, and you're not responsible for them. This is something that they've got to essentially figure out. And so the World card, the Four of Swords, and the Four of Cups here is about, which is great because it means that you're doing your thing. You're looking out for yourself. And whatever kind of connection the two of you may have had, it's ran its course, and for you, you don't get anything out of it. You're not even emotionally attached to them anymore. And so now you have the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Cups. So, like, you trust yourself, you trust your family, you trust, the people of, trust is a funny thing, right? Like for me, I always have I've learned to not overly trust people. You dig what I'm saying? Because people are weird. You know what I'm saying? People will say certain things, they won't follow through with it. So over my years, I've learned to not overly trust people. I learned that at some aspect, you will trust somebody on some level. There's no way that you're going to do literally everything on your own. It's not going to happen. You dig what I'm saying? You will have to trust the mail person to deliver the mail, right? Because then you'll constantly be the one going to the stores, right? You will have to, you understand what I'm saying? You will have to trust the person at the checkout counter that they're checking out the right things, or the things that the items that you're trying to buy. So trust does come into play on a very small level. But what's happening here is that over-reliance, over-trust can breed parasitic behavior, right? Where they stop looking at you like a living being that has many different aspects and layers to you, and they start looking at you like a human doing, right? They start looking at you like a person who gets results done, and they get results done well, and they forget you're a living being, right? And that you make your own decisions. And so the situation for you, Aquarius, is the same, right? Again, you keep losing respect for them. Plain and simple, you keep losing respect for them based upon the fact that you, Aquarius, you seeing them in this kind of light. The fact that, the very same people that they didn't want to get along with, they need, right? They're calling you because they know you either have it or you can go and get it, right? You're capable of it. See, this is part of the reason why it is that people get so caught up with asking you for stuff, and why it is that they get so upset. It's because what you don't understand is that they begin to overly rely on you. That's the situation. They begin to overly rely on you. They try to make it seem like they were on point, and that they were going to come in and have you, Aquarius, wrapped around their fingers. And what happened is that that's not the case because of how competent you are, right? And so what ends up happening is what they don't want to say is you, Aquarius, end up doing the job for yourself and them, right? It's exactly like what Drake said when he said, like, my dad would call and say that he coming to get us. And he would, in 0 to 100, he would say he ain't show up. Valuable lesson I had to grow up. That's why I never ask for help. I'll do it for you and do it for myself. I go 0 to 100 real quick, right? Same thing, right? It's the fact that they get upset because them coming to you like this and asking you for help is admittance that they have come to overly rely on you, because you can do your own job and the things you need to do and theirs. they do not take kindly to that, because it's them putting on a front of their competence, right? And you've exposed them essentially. So that's why it is that you can never help them. That's why they turn coat. That's why they turn on you and stuff like this, because part of it is the shame. Part of it is the fact of, again, they get upset. Part of it is the fact of, how dare you really like show me up? I was supposed to make you wrapped around my fingers. But nah, you Aquarius, you too good, right? And they out here really overly relying on you, expecting you for help. That's their situation that they need to basically figure out, not yours. You Aquarius are doing quite well, doing your thing, and you're sticking to your plan. That's it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. If you want to come through and get a personal reading, the link to that is in the comment section below, called the Linktree link. Peace. Have a good one.